I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlus. Today is May 30th, 2022, and in this video, we're going to get a little fuzzy. Okay, so here's the fuzzy, just to get a good look at it. So this is just a regular Moai statue. We can do kind of some close-ups of that. And that is what the fuzzy looks like. And I kind of like it a lot. It looks really cool. And it has a really good texture to it. And I've seen some other designs. I've actually started to do this myself in a few things where I have a handle. If I have a handle where something's going to touch, I can put a little bit of fuzziness there. And I saw another design do that too, so you get a little more of a grip. So it's kind of nice for that kind of a thing too. And I want to go make a big Moai to see what it looks like. And also to kind of see what it does with a bigger nozzle too. Now, as a side journey, I did this guy. I was trying to get a twofer, but I did not pay attention. So, if you'll see this guy, he's fuzzy, but he has all these lines. And this was my mistake. So, the guy who designed this, and I don't know if I'll put a link in the show notes or not, you'll see all these lines. The idea behind this, I was trying to get a twofer. I was trying to get a fuzziness and the hollow, one that was nicely hollowed out, because I'd like to use this hollow one out to make even a better doorstop where I could put more stuff in it. But that was not the purpose of this, because I thought I had done something goofy, so I did the same thing without fuzziness, and you can see I have all these lines. Because I sliced it normally. The intention of this one was, he did this really smart idea, and you can go watch his video. If I don't put a link up, yell at me and I'll go put a link up. He did this really neat idea where he wanted to do it in Vase Mode, and for people who aren't familiar with Vase Mode is where you just kind of do, if you want to do a vase, you just do one line and you kind of keep spiraling up. And so it has a really cool effect. But you can't really get any thickness with a Vase Mode. In fact, you can't do this. But what he did, like this has a thickness to it. But if you did it in Vase Mode, the idea is, what he did is he said, okay, go all the way around, but then have a little gap at the end, and then you kind of go in and have this Vase Mode that goes around. It's kind of an interesting concept. So I did not do this justice when I did this. I was trying to get a twofer, and I wasn't paying attention. So that's why I have these funky lines. So it was not intended for this. So I did this one, and the fuzziness is pretty cool. So now I'm interested in doing a bigger one. I'm also interested in doing the Moai. I did a giant fridge magnet where he lies like this. And of course the fuzziness will look a little different. And I wonder how that would turn out, if it would look goofy because it's going that way versus that way. I don't know. But anyway, there's that. And then we can go over some more details. Okay, let's show some URLs and get right into it. So here is the Moai statue, which you can go download on Printables. That's the one I'm using right now for this test. And then also the other one that had an interesting issue with me was the negative vase print Moai. Now, it's probably interesting to go, I watched this video a little bit afterwards that I was doing it wrong. Very interesting idea where we use the Vase Mode in a very interesting way. So go check that out. It's kind of off topic, but I kind of stumbled upon this when I was trying to do the hollow, trying to get a twofer. Then here's the URL for the fuzzy skin. So you can go look up and get some better notes on the fuzzy skin. And as you can see here, you can actually just do parts too. You know, very interesting for handles. I like this idea. But with that, let's go look and see what we can do with fuzzy skin. So here we have the Prusa slicer. And so there's a couple things you can do. I can right click on here and I can say, can't I say fuzzy skin? I can just say fuzzy skin. So I can add a setting down here and just say fuzzy skin. Let me select all those. Boom, boom, boom. And I can say outside walls. In this case, I don't want to do inside walls. And this one doesn't even have an inside wall. But typically, you probably want to do outside walls. And you can fiddle with the distance. You can fiddle with the thickness. But I just use the defaults. I like to use defaults typically. And you can see there, it looks like barbed wire. But that's the basic thing that I use. That's the result that you saw there. And it looks a little funky in the slicer, but you saw it came out pretty well. But we can adjust that. So we can come down here, and if you look at any individual layer, let me see if I can, there you can see that little jaggy out on the outside edge. That's what it's doing there. That's that little guy. And I haven't fiddled with this myself yet, but I guess you can go down here and you can change the fuzzy thickness. I'll say 0.5. And it should just be a thicker fuzziness, I guess. I'll have to go, maybe that's a good maybe that might be a good video. Just sit here and do a couple different settings and see what the different results are. I haven't done that yet, but it'd be a good one to do. Now can I kill this? Let me kill this, remove these guys. Oh, remove. Okay. Now another thing that's really nice to do, like for doing handles and different things, I can right click on here and add a modifier. So I'll just use a sphere for this case. And then wherever this interacts with, let me change the height there. So we could just say, yeah, let me change it a little bit. We can try to get his nose. So you can say kind of just affect that one area there, which is kind of his nose area. And then we can right click on that and say add settings and fuzzy skin and select all of them. And then I come down here and say outside wall and leave the defaults and slice it. And now we should see fuzziness just in that one area. And there you go. You see, you got that one area and nowhere else. So I think that's an interesting idea to use for things. It could be interesting artistically, possibly, but I think it's also very interesting for things like handles. Like recently I made a big giant top and I made sure the top was fuzzy so you can get a little better grip on it. And I think that is a really good use of it. So, you know, for me there's two good uses. One is it's an interesting look. I like that a lot. And the other one is just to get better grip so you can use them on handles. So with that, let's wrap it up. So, with this reminder that 3D printing is an engineering adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and knowledge, and you can take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this. You can teach others, and you can make amazing designs. So, design it, engineer it. I have a few more must prints to get done on the i3 Mark III this week using the 0.4 nozzle. I am hoping by the end of the week I can switch out to the 0.8 nozzle, which is normally not my cup of tea. I like to keep it simple and average, and for that I use the 0.4 nozzle at a 0.15 layer height, which may cost me higher print times for some prints that do not need that detail. But for the average home user, that is really not a problem. But I do have a need to see if I can get a few more giant dinosaur T-Rex skulls done before the homeschool conference. And that is going to require the speed of the 0.8mm nozzle at a much higher layer height. I hope the thread is still okay. I will make some videos on the subject when I do it.